Welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of numismatics, uncovering the hidden treasures that might just be sitting in your pocket change. And today, we're talking about something truly extraordinary, a 2015 D Lincoln cent that's rumored to be worth an astonishing $888 million due to its rare errors and mistakes. So buckle up as we explore what makes this penny so valuable, the specific minting errors that could command such a jaw-dropping price, and the tantalizing possibilities that have collectors and enthusiasts buzzing with excitement, because this isn't just any penny, it's a piece of history that could turn a single cent into a fortune. Now, let's set the stage. The Lincoln cent, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth, is one of the most iconic coins in American history, designed by Victor David Brenner, featuring Lincoln's portrait on the obverse end. In 2015, the Union Shield on the reverse, symbolizing unity and strength. And while billions of these pennies are minted every year at facilities like the Denver Mint, which stamps a D mint mark under the date, every so often, a mistake slips through the cracks, creating a coin so rare and unique that it becomes the holy grail for collectors. And that's exactly what we're diving into with the 2015 D penny, a coin that, due to a combination of extraordinary minting errors, has sparked wild speculation about its value, potentially reaching that staggering $888 million mark. Though we'll critically examine whether such a valuation holds up. To understand why this penny could be so valuable, we need to explore the minting process and the types of errors that can occur, because coins are made through a complex series of steps, and any deviation can result in something extraordinary. The process begins with blank metal discs called planchets, which for modern pennies are copper-plated zinc, weighing about 2.5 grams, and these planchets are fed into presses where dies, metal stamps engraved with the coin's design, strike them to create the obverse and reverse images, and if anything goes wrong, from the preparation of the planchet to the striking process, you get an error coin, and the rarer and more dramatic the error, the more valuable the coin becomes to collectors who prize these anomalies for their uniqueness and the stories they tell about the minting process. Let's start with one of the most coveted types of errors, the doubled die, which occurs when a die is misaligned during the hubbing process, where the design is transferred onto the die, causing elements like the date, lettering, or images to appear doubled. And for a 2015 D penny, a dramatic double die obverse, where the date, 2015, or the words Liberty or In God We Trust show clear doubling, could significantly boost its value, as seen with the famous 1955 double die Lincoln cent, which can fetch tens of thousands of dollars due to its striking visual effect. And if a 2015 D penny exhibited an exceptionally pronounced doubled die, with visible doubling on Lincoln's portrait or the Union Shield, it could be a game changer, potentially valued in the thousands or even higher if certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC, which authenticate and grade coins based on condition and rarity. Another possibility is an off-center strike, where the planchet is not properly aligned in the press, resulting in a coin where the design is shifted off to one side, leaving a portion of the planchet blank. And the value of an off-center strike depends on how far off-center it is, say, 20% versus 50%, and whether key elements like the date or mint mark remain visible. And for a 2015 D penny, a 50% off-center strike with the date and D mint mark intact could fetch hundreds of dollars, as collectors love the dramatic, almost alien appearance of these coins, and if the error is even more extreme, like a 70% off-center strike, it could push the value even higher, though still far from $888 million unless paired with other rare errors. Then there's the broad strike error, where a coin is struck without the retaining collar, the metal ring that keeps the planchet in place during striking, causing the coin to spread out larger and thinner than normal. And a 2015 D penny with a broad strike error would have a distorted, oversized appearance while retaining all design elements, making it a collector's dream, potentially worth $100 to $500 depending on the extent of the error and the coin's condition, as broad strikes are visually striking and relatively rare, though not unheard of in modern minting. Another intriguing error is the improper annealing error, where the planchet is heated and cooled to make it malleable, but fluctuations in the process can cause the coin to take on unusual colors, purple, yellow, or rainbow hues instead of the typical coppery brown, and a 2015 D penny with a vivid, multicolored annealing error could command a premium, with examples from other years selling for $300 or more at auction, as collectors are drawn to the unique aesthetics of these coins, which stand out like jewels in a collection. Perhaps the most valuable error, though, is a transitional error, where a coin is struck on the wrong planchet, like a penny struck on a dime planchet, which is smaller and made of silver-colored clad metal, or even rarer, on a bronze planchet left over from an earlier era, and while the U.S. Mint switched to copper-plated zinc for pennies in 1982, a 2015 D-penny struck on a bronze planchet would be a monumental find, reminiscent of the 1943 copper penny, which can sell for over $1 million due to its extreme rarity, as only a handful were mistakenly struck during World War II when pennies were made of zinc-coated steel, and if a 2015 D-penny were found on a bronze planchet, it could theoretically approach seven-figure values, though no such error has been documented for this year, making the $888 million claim highly speculative. Another error to consider is the die crack, where a crack in the die leaves raised lines or ridges on the coin, and while minor die cracks are common and worth only a small premium, a major die break, like a cud where a large portion of the die breaks off, creating a blob-like error on the coin, could make a 2015 D-penny worth $50 to $200, depending on the size and placement of the cud, as these errors are visually dramatic and sought after by error coin enthusiasts. Grease struck through errors, where grease or debris on the die prevents part of the design from being struck, can also add value, especially if the missing design element is significant, like part of the date or mint mark, and a 2015 D-penny with a grease struck through error obscuring the D mint mark could fetch $100 or more, as collectors are intrigued by the mystery of what caused the obstruction. Then there's the possibility of a clip planchet, where the planchet is improperly punched from the metal sheet, resulting in a crescent-shaped or straight-edge defect, and while minor clips are common, a 2015 D-penny with a large clip, say 10% or more of the coin missing, could be worth $50 to $150, as these errors give the coin a unique, irregular shape that appeals to collectors. A more exotic error is the brockage, where a coin gets stuck to the die and strikes another planchet, creating a mirror image of the design on one side, and a 2015 D-penny with a brockage error, showing Lincoln's portrait in cues on the reverse, would be extremely rare and could fetch thousands, as brockages are dramatic and scarce in modern coinage due to improved quality control. Another rare error is the mule, where a coin is struck with dies meant for different denominations, like a penny obverse paired with a dime reverse, and while no such mule has been reported for the 2015 D-penny, a discovery of this magnitude could theoretically justify a multi-million-dollar valuation, as seen with the 2001 D Lincoln cent mule, which sold for six figures, but the likelihood of such an error in 2015 is slim given modern minting technology. The $888 million valuation, however, raises red flags, as even the most valuable error coins, like the 1943 D bronze penny, have sold for $1.7 million at most, and that coin is considered the holy grail of penny errors due to its unique historical context during World War II, so for a 2015 D-penny to reach $888 million, it would need to combine multiple ultra-rare errors, say, a double die obverse, a bronze planchet, and an off-center strike, all on a single coin in pristine, uncirculated condition, graded MS-70 by a reputable service, and even then, the market would need unprecedented demand from wealthy collectors to drive the price to such an extreme, which seems more like hype than reality. Let's consider the context of 2015. The Denver Mint produced over 4.7 billion Lincoln cents that year, making it a high mintage year, and while low mintage years like 1931 or 1955 can boost a coin's value, the sheer volume of 2015 D-pennies means any error would need to be exceptionally rare to stand out, and modern minting technology, with automated counters and quality control, reduces the likelihood of major errors escaping into circulation, unlike in earlier eras when manual processes led to mistakes like the 1922 no D-penny, where grease or dieware obscured the mint mark, creating a coin worth over $500 even in poor condition. The 2015 D-penny's rumored value could also stem from a unique combination of errors, like a double-struck coin, where the planchet is struck twice, creating overlapping designs, or a fold-over strike, where the planchet folds during striking, resulting in a bizarre, doubled coin, and such errors are so rare in modern coinage that they could fetch thousands. But millions seems a stretch unless the coin has a documented provenance or historical significance, like being the only known example of double-struck coin, where the planchet is struck twice, creating overlapping designs, or a fold-over strike, where the planchet folds during striking, resulting in a bizarre, doubled coin, and such errors are so rare in modern coinage that they could fetch thousands, but millions seems a stretch unless the coin has a documented provenance or historical significance, like being the only known example of its kind. Another factor in valuation is condition. A penny in mint state, MS, condition, with no wear in its original red luster, is worth far more than a circulated coin, and grading services assign scores from 1 to 70, with MS-70 being perfect, and a 2015 D penny with a major error in MS-70 could command a significant premium, but even then, the $888 million figure seems to originate more from online speculation or exaggerated claims on platforms like eBay, where sellers sometimes inflate values to attract attention, rather than from actual auction records. To put this in perspective, the 1955 double-die penny, with fewer than 24,000 examples, is worth up to $50,000 in top condition, and the 1943 copper penny, with only 15 to 20 known examples, tops out at $1.7 million, so a 2015 D penny would need to be exponentially rarer and more dramatic to approach $888 million, perhaps as a one-of-a-kind error that rewrites numismatic history, like a penny struck on a gold planchet, though no such error has been reported. Collectors also value coins for their stories, and a 2015 D penny with a major error could carry a narrative of a rare minting mishap, perhaps during a late-night shift at the Denver Mint when a worker accidentally used an obsolete die or planchet, and such a story could drive interest, but the numismatic market is driven by verified sales, not rumors, and no auction record supports a $888 million valuation for any penny, let alone one from 2015. Another possibility is a repunched mint mark, where the D is struck multiple times, creating a doubled or tripled mint mark, and while these errors were more common before the 1990s when mint marks were hand-punched, a 2015 D penny with a repunched mint mark could still fetch $50 to $100, as modern examples are scarce due to automated processes. The idea of a $888 million penny might also be fueled by the allure of what if a 2015 D penny was struck on a planchet meant for a commemorative coin, or what if it was a unique experimental strike, like the 1974 aluminum penny, which is illegal to own but valued in the millions for the few that escaped destruction. These hypotheticals excite collectors, but without evidence, they remain speculative. Authentication is critical, as counterfeits are common, especially for high-value errors, and a 2015 D penny would need to be examined by experts at PCGS or NGC to verify its errors, as scammers often alter coins to mimic rare mistakes, like painting a penny to resemble an improper annealing error or grinding it to fake a clip, and genuine errors must occur during the minting process, not after circulation, as post-mint damage has no collectible value. The numismatic community thrives on discovery, and while no 2015 D penny with a documented $888 million value exists in known records, the possibility of an undiscovered error keeps collectors searching through pocket change, coin rolls, and estate sales, hoping to uncover the next big find, and the Lincoln Cent's long history, from the 1909 SVDB worth up to $1.2 million to the 1969 double die at $224,831, shows that rare errors can command life-changing sums, but the $888 million claim for a 2015 D penny likely stems from a misunderstanding, a typo, or a viral exaggeration, as even the most valuable modern errors rarely exceed 7 figures. Still, the hunt for such a coin is part of the thrill, and checking your 2015 D pennies for double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchets could lead to a valuable find, though you're more likely to uncover a coin worth $50 to $500 than $888 million, so grab a magnifying glass, inspect those pennies, and let us know in the comments if you found anything unusual, because you never know when a single cent could change your life, and that's what keeps us coin enthusiasts coming back for more. So until next time, keep collecting, keep exploring, and we'll see you in the next video. Next, welcome back to our YouTube channel, where we dive into the thrilling world of coin collecting, uncovering the hidden gems that could be hiding in your loose change, and today, we're exploring an incredible story about a 1984 D Lincoln Cent that's rumored to be worth a staggering $777 million due to its rare minting errors and mistakes. So let's embark on this numismatic journey to discover what makes this penny so extraordinarily valuable, the specific errors that could elevate a humble 1-cent coin to such an astronomical price, and the tantalizing possibilities that have collectors buzzing with excitement, because this isn't just pocket change, it's potentially a life-changing treasure. The Lincoln Cent, first introduced in 1909 to honor Abraham Lincoln's centennial birth, is a cornerstone of American coinage, designed by Victor David Brenner with Lincoln's portrait on the obverse end, by 1984, featuring the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, a design by Frank Gasparo that symbolizes Lincoln's legacy, and with over 5.5 billion 1984 D pennies struck at the Denver Mint, identifiable by the D mint mark under the date, you'd think finding a valuable one would be like finding a needle in a haystack, but minting errors, those rare mistakes that occur during production, can transform an ordinary penny into a collector's dream, and the rumored $777 million valuation for a 1984 D penny suggests a combination of errors so rare and dramatic that it could rewrite numismatic history. To understand this, we need to explore the minting process, where blank planchets, copper-plated zinc discs for modern pennies, are struck by dies engraved with the coin's design, and any misalignment, malfunction, or material error can create a coin that's one of a kind, fetching premiums far beyond its face value, especially when certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC, which evaluate condition and authenticity. One of the most sought-after errors is the doubled die, where a die is misaligned during hubbing, causing elements like the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust, to appear doubled, and for the 1984 D penny, a well-known doubled die obverse shows noticeable doubling on Lincoln's ear, a variety discovered in 1984 and considered a major variety because the doubling is visible to the naked eye, with thousands of examples estimated to exist, fetching anywhere from $50 to $300 in mint state, as seen. With coins graded MS65 to MS68, though a pristine MS69 example could push values higher, potentially into the thousands if demand spikes, but nowhere near $777 million unless paired with other extraordinary errors. Another error is the off-center strike, where the planchet is misaligned during striking, shifting the design off-center and leaving a blank crescent on one side, and the value depends on the degree of misalignment. 10% off-center might be worth $10, but a dramatic 50% off-center strike with the date and mint mark intact could fetch $100 to $500, as collectors prize the visual oddity, and a 1984 D penny with an extreme 70% off-center error in uncirculated condition could climb higher, though still far from millions. A double-struck off-center error, where the coin is struck twice with misalignment, is even rarer, creating overlapping or distorted designs, and for 1984 D pennies, such errors can fetch up to $100, as noted in numismatic sources, but a coin with multiple strikes in high grade could push values into the low thousands, especially if the strikes are dramatically rotated, catching the eye of serious collectors. Broad strike errors occur when a coin is struck without the retaining collar, causing it to spread out larger and thinner than normal, retaining all design elements but with a misshapen appearance, and a 1984 D broad strike in mint state could be worth $50 to $200, depending on the extent of the error and its visual appeal, as these coins stand out in any collection. Improper annealing errors, where the planchet's heating and cooling process goes awry, can produce striking color variations, vivid purples, blues, or golds instead of the usual coppery tone, and a 1984 D penny with a rainbow-hued annealing error could command $100 to $500, as collectors are drawn to the aesthetic uniqueness, though such errors are rare in modern coinage due to improved quality control. Perhaps the most valuable error is a transitional error, where a coin is struck on the wrong planchet, like a 1984 D penny struck on a bronze planchet from the pre-1982 era when pennies were 95% copper, weighing 3.11 grams instead of the 2.5-gram copper-plated zinc used in 1984, and such an error would be a monumental find, reminiscent of the 1943 copper penny, which has sold for over $1.7 million due to its extreme rarity, with only 15 to 20 known examples from World War II when pennies were struck on zinc-coated steel, and a verified 1984 D penny on a bronze planchet could theoretically approach seven figures, though no such error is documented for this year, making the $777 million claim highly speculative. Die cracks, where a die develops a fracture, leave raised lines or ridges on the coin, and while minor die cracks are common and worth only a small premium, a major die break, known as a cud, creates a large, blob-like error, and a 1984 D penny with a prominent cud, say covering part of Lincoln's portrait, could be worth $50 to $150, as these errors are visually striking and sought after. Grease struck through errors, where debris on the die prevents part of the design from being struck, can obscure elements like the date or mint mark, and a 1984 D penny with a significant grease error, such as a missing D mint mark, could fetch $50 to $200, as collectors are intrigued by the mystery of the obstruction. Clipped planchet errors occur when the planchet is improperly punched, resulting in a crescent-shaped or straight-edged defect, and a 1984 D penny with a large clip, say 10% of the coin missing, could be worth $30 to $100, as the irregular shape appeals to error collectors. A brockage error, where a coin sticks to the die and strikes another planchet, creating a mirror image of the design, is extremely rare in modern coinage, but a 1984 D penny with a brockage, showing an ncaa's Lincoln portrait on the reverse, could fetch thousands due to its dramatic appearance, though such errors are scarce due to modern minting technology. A mule error, where a coin is struck with dies meant for different denominations, like a penny obverse paired with a dime reverse, would be a numismatic unicorn, and while a 2001 D penny mule sold for 6 figures, no such error is known for 1984 D, but if discovered, it could justify a multi-million-dollar valuation due to its unprecedented rarity. The $777 million figure, however, is suspicious, as even the most valuable error coins, like the 1943 D bronze penny, have sold for $1.7 million at most, and for a 1984 D penny to reach such a price, it would need to combine multiple ultra-rare errors, say, a double die obverse, a bronze planchet, and a 50% off-center strike, in pristine MS-70 condition, graded by a reputable service, and even then, the market would require extraordinary demand from wealthy collectors, which seems more like hype than reality. In 1984, the Denver Mint struck over 5.5 billion pennies, a high mintage that reduces the likelihood of rare errors escaping into circulation, unlike earlier years like 1955, where the double die penny, with fewer than 24,000 examples, can fetch $50,000, or the 1922 no D penny, worth over $500 due to a grease-filled die obscuring the mint mark. Modern minting technology, with automated systems and quality control, makes major errors less common, but the 1984 D double die, with doubling on Lincoln's ear, is a known variety, with examples in MS-65 selling for $264 to $2,640 in 2023 auctions, far from millions but still significant for a penny. Other potential errors include a fold-over strike, where the planchet folds during striking, creating a bizarre, doubled coin, and such an error in 1984 D could be worth thousands due to its rarity and dramatic appearance, though no documented examples exist. A uniface strike, where one side of the coin is blank due to a planchet resting on another during striking, is another rare error, potentially worth $500 to $1,000 for a 1984 D penny, as collectors value the stark contrast of a blank side. The condition of the coin is critical, as uncirculated pennies with original red luster, graded MS-65 or higher, command higher premiums, and a 1984 D penny in MS-69 is extremely rare, with PCGS noting a significant premium for such grades, potentially reaching $500 or more for a single error. The $777 million valuation likely stems from online exaggeration or a misunderstanding, as no auction record supports such a figure, and even the most valuable modern errors, like the 1969 S double die penny at $224,831, fall far short. The numismatic market thrives on verified sales, not rumors, and a 1984 D penny would need to be a one-of-a-kind anomaly, perhaps struck on a gold planchet or with a unique experimental design, to approach such a value, though no such errors are known. Collectors are drawn to the stories behind errors, like a mint worker's mistake during a late shift, allowing a bronze planchet to slip through or a die to misalign, and these narratives drive interest, but the market demands authentication, as counterfeits are common, with scammers altering coins to mimic errors like double dies or clips, and a genuine 1984 D error must be verified by experts to hold value. The hunt for such a penny keeps collectors searching through change, bank rolls, and estate sales, hoping to find the next big discovery, and while a $777 million penny is likely a myth, a 1984 D penny with a significant error, like a double die or off-center strike, could still be worth hundreds or thousands, so grab a magnifying glass, check your pennies for doubling O.